Alright, well welcome to part 4 of our first lecture series, and I'm going to talk now about something that's referred to in your textbook, talked about for a few pages, but which isn't terribly relevant to the rest of our class, and that is a marketing information system. Now I don't want to imply that a marketing information system, or what's also called an MIS, is not important. And in fact, actually the framework of what we're going to talk about is really important, generally speaking, for any decisions that you're going to make later on in your careers. It's just that what we are going to talk about and cover in this class is a piece of this, and we're going to really be drilling down on that piece of this, which is marketing research. So an MIS, by the way, don't confuse it with a management information system. It's a term that we marketers have appropriated and used in our own acronym. Marketing information system is a structured approach to determining what information you have available to support decision making. So when you have a decision that you need to make, you should consult your MIS. Many organizations don't have their MIS formalized in quite the way that they should to support decision making, but it's never too late to set one up. It's really just a matter of understanding where different sources of information are coming from. So there are 4 components. The first of them is internal reports, and a lot of times organizations have tons and tons of internal data that's just floating around. Retailers have scanner data, they have customer data from loyalty programs, they have data that comes from their suppliers or from their vendors, just all kinds of data. A lot of times it's not put together in any useful way. There also can be analyses that people perform for meetings and things like that that are really useful, but they just don't get shared. There's just a wealth of data often internally that's not being looked at. And a lot of times if it's consulted properly, it can be really useful. Next comes marketing intelligence. And marketing intelligence really refers to understanding the market in which you're operating, as well as understanding your competition. Now this can be formal or informal. There are lots of ways to make it formalized. For example, you can hire firms that do competitive intelligence, and that can give you a lot of really nitty-gritty data on your competitors. But there are lots of informal ways to get market intelligence too. First of all, you can just kind of work out from the limited amount of data you have what your market share is or what your market presence is. You can make a lot of assumptions based on what you've heard or what you know. You can talk to your customers just sort of informally and get information from them and keep track of that. You can also hire your competitors. That's one very good way to get competitive intelligence, is to hire your competitors away and find out what they know and make them a part of your team. All that stuff is fun, but we're not going to talk about it really in this class. Marketing decision support really refers more to the IT side of things, the CMIS side of things. Having formal systems in place that can help you to look at your information and systematize it. Marketing decision support can also refer to processes and protocols that you have in place, strategic planning, training, scenario building, things like that. Well, all 3 of the things that I've just mentioned really all fall under the same category of information that we have internally, information that we have invested in and that we've acquired and that we can put to use without going outside. Marketing research is the 4th area, and it's the area of when we don't know from the other 3 areas what we need to know. Marketing research is what we turn to. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of times clients don't bother to look at these other 3 things before they try to engage a researcher. And one of the first things that I'll tell them as a researcher, because I don't want them to waste their time or their money, is have you looked at what you have on hand? What information do you have available to answer the questions that you're asking? Do you need to go and do a study to be able to get this data? And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But it's worth asking, because a lot of times just making sure that they're making proper use of their MIS can allow them, if they're going to engage a research project, to really better refine what it is that they're trying to learn, and that's really important. In terms of our class, the MIS is an important framework to understand. We should always look at what we have available, and we should always have a system to make sure that that information is being given to us in a useful manner. A lot of times this is what we call dashboarding, where you take many different pieces of information and you put them together in one place where upper leadership can really look at them and understand them and have a great understanding of what's going on. We're going to be talking about this unknown in our class. We're not going to be talking about what we have on hand. We're going to be talking about what we don't have. We're going to be talking about how to take information, or how to make use of our customers, our partners, our suppliers, our the experts that we know, people that are around us, how we can take advantage of the fact that they're willing to share their opinions and really to learn something. And a lot of marketing research is opinion research. It's really asking people what they think. There are forms of research that are based on what people do rather than what they say, but a lot of marketing research is based on what they say. And that's something that an MIS doesn't really give you very well. So when we have exhausted all of the internal information that we have, that's when we turn to marketing research. And really, for the rest of this class, is what I want you to think about is when we have a question that we cannot answer, no matter what it is that we have available, that's when marketing research is called for. And that's why in the next lecture, you're going to learn about some of the awesome ways in which we can really answer those questions.